Hey, everybody. Wanted to thank you all for calling into the Unfinished Business conference call. On today's call, we'll have Scott Coker and Ken Shamrock starting us off. They'll each give opening statements and then field some questions. We'll start with questions for Ken, followed by questions for Scott, and then we'll have Kimbo Slice call in, give his opening comments, and answer questions. In order to answer a question, please press *1 on your keypad, and the operator will get to you. I'm now going to turn the call over to Scott Coker.
Hey, thanks, Danny. I'd like to thank everybody for making the call. I know everybody's just really busy. I'd like to thank a few people, actually, to begin with. First of all, I'd like to thank Ken. I'd like to thank Kimbo for taking this fight. Also like to thank Kevin K. from Spike TV for being great partners, like Beer from Miller, Monster Energy Drink, and as well as Dave & Buster's. Also like to thank our friends over in Missouri, Mr. Jesse Finney and Rob Donaker have been working very hard on this event over there for us, as well as Mr. Tim Lukanoff, the Missouri State Athletic Commission. I'd like to just say, right off the bat, to get this out of the way, at the direction of Mr. Lukanoff, our main event fighters were subject to pre-fight testing, drug testing, and we were informed last week that both fighters passed their tests. We're only 10 days away from finally watching the Kimbo Slice and Ken Shamrock settle their score in Unfinished Business, which goes down to the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, airs on Spike TV at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. This event takes place about 1 year from the time that I came on board, and I'm very proud of what we accomplished here at Bellator the last year. I think we've, hit some big milestones in a very short amount of time. I've been promoting fights for 30 years plus now, and I can't remember a time where two fighters really had the dislike for each other, and this fight's been building up in their minds, and we've had the opportunity to watch this thing unfold over the last 4 or 5 months, and it's been very intense. So finally, all this tension will boil over a week from this Friday. As I said from the start, we're going to put on fights that for everybody, and this is a fight that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm proud to have it as our main event. Beneath Kimbo versus Shamrock, you got fireworks with Patricio Pitbull defending his featherweight title against Daniel Weichel. Heavyweights, we got Bobby Lashley. We got Michael Chandler taking on Derek Campos. Daniel Strauss fighting undefeated Henry Corrales. And then also we have a tremendous lineup of local talent put together by Jesse and Rob in St. Louis. So come in early and watch all the action on the undercard. We love putting together the undercard fights in the local market because that's where we find our next fighters, the next guys that we like to build up. And there's some tremendous talent in these markets, and we're going to go, dig for the next guy, so to speak. At this time, we're just going to turn it over to Ken Shamrock for his opening comments, and then we'll open up for questions. Ken?
Well, first of all, I want to, make sure I give thanks, obviously, Viacom for having faith in myself and also Kimbo. Also to Bellator and Scott Coker for taking a chance. I appreciate that. Also to the fans up to this point have been tremendous with their support. A lot of great questions, and even someone that weren't the best, that made me feel very good, but they were certain questions, challenging questions. And so I appreciate everything that's happened up to this point. It's made me personally a better person, a better man. It's actually pushed me in my training. So I'm thankful for all those things that have happened. I want to say this, that I've been fighting, for a while, and in my career I've had opportunities to really reach the elite level in a couple different places. And I've always trained hard. I've always put myself through, training, make sure I could go 46 minutes, 36 minutes, or however long it took, and always been in pretty good shape. Last few years, I struggled a little bit with being able to get in the ring, perform the way I wanted to. I've been able to get back in the ring and fix those problems. It's been the toughest and the most difficult thing that I have ever had to do in my career up to this point. Most of the time when I go into it, a gym and I get ready to train, I'm the Lion King. I'm the guy that I go in there, and I'm pretty much the guy that, can handle anybody. I've been away from the ring for 4 or 5 years. And coming back, I believe that has really tested my character and tested my training and everything that has to do with getting ready for a fight. I was tested more than I have ever been tested in a fight. The humility, the humbling of going into a gym and starting out, not really knowing where you're at, and having to put yourself in different types of training, and realizing for the first time in your life, not only you not the Lion King in the gym, but you're at the bottom of the barrel, and you've got these young kids who you're rolling with that are just throwing you around. All of a sudden, you've lost that strength and that confidence that you would have going in there. That was the toughest and the most difficult thing for me to do, was to stay focused, keep my mind on the fight, and fight through this difficult time. I think any athlete that's ever been in that position that I'm in, they're either made or they're broken. And that's one of my strengths, is mentally I'm very, very strong, and I'm never, ever just take satisfactory. I'm always going to push myself to whatever level I can get to. Now, I've been at this thing for probably 6 months now, and it was the most humbling and the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my career. And now that I am where I am at, I am a different human being. I'm more appreciative of the things that I have. I'm more appreciative of the opportunities that I have. I'm more appreciative of the people that come in and train with me. I'm more appreciative of the people who come in and that are struggling in the beginning, because it all came easily to me. My abilities in the ring was something that was just a natural thing for me. But I also put the hard training and putting the extra time on top of which made me great. I didn't have that anymore. And I had to go out and I had to dig and fight and scratch for every single inch every day not to get my ass kicked in the gym all the time. And now that I've done that, I put myself back where I want to be. Back where I'm not the greatest fighter in the gym. I'm not the Lion King in the gym, but I can hold my own now. At 51 years old, I'm putting people out of training. When I'm in their training and I'm going hard, I'm able to push people to where they can't go with me. And all of this comes through hard work and humbling myself and bringing myself back to my grassroots. Come June 19th, people are going to get to see the results of that. And I promise you, with everything that I am, with my career on the line, they will not be disappointed.
With that, we're going to open it up for 10 minutes of questioning. In order to ask a question, please press *1 on your keypad. I'm going to turn it over to the operator who's got the first question.
The first question comes from the line of Eric Cal with MyMMAnews.com.
My question's for Ken. Ken, the other day you tweeted about your weight being at about 213 pounds and your opponent in Kimbo being about 240 pounds. Given that both of you have fought previously at light heavyweight, what made you ultimately say you wanted to give up the weight and fight at heavyweight rather than at light heavyweight?
I never made a decision. It followed my career point in time. My natural weight is about 200 and between 215 and 210. And that's just where I'm at. I keep the time that I try to put weight on. I mean, I'm literally trying to put weight. It's not like I'm satisfied with being at the weight. I'm satisfied with where I'm at and who I am. And that's just where I'm at. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. I mean, I've tried everything. I've eaten. I've got 6 meals a day. I'm training hard, doing everything I can. And I even plan 3 months of training in the Bellator to try to put weight on with my strength and conditioning. And the highest I got was 215. And then when I start training, I dropped my weight again. I was down at one time at 209 pounds. So I'm really putting the food in. I'm eating good. I'm doing everything I need to. But that's just it right there, man. That's all I got. And I believe that because of my experience in the earlier days with fighting open weight classes, 3 times in one night, 4 times in one night, that weight has never been a disadvantage to me. I've always been able to use the whatever weight advantage, whether it's less or more, to my advantage. And that's what I'm going to do in this fight. I'll do the same thing. I'll have a game plan, and I'll go in and I'll implement my game plan.
Great. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
The next question comes from Steve Jewin with MMAmania.com.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for the time today. And my question is, we haven't seen you in 5 years inside of the cage, and judging by your recent photos, you've made an incredible physical transformation in that time. So what do you attribute the shape you're in right now to?
Hard work and genetics. I mean, I think if you've watched me throughout my career, when I try to go and pack on weight, I'm not as lean. When I don't worry about packing the weight on and I just worry about my cardio, my speed, then I get leaner. And that's just how my physique has been throughout my career. And it's no different now. I think the difference now, what you're seeing now, is that I'm putting in harder work. And the reason why I'm putting harder work is because I don't have the reaction time I used to have when I was younger. So that has slowed down a bit. So now I have to actually I have to work harder to get to the area I want to get to be able to, successfully finish a combination or a single leg. So my work in the gym, I've never put this kind of work into my training into a fight where I have been pretty much fighting for my life because I'm not the Lion King in the gym anymore. So, man, I'm really understanding what it's like to be the underdog. And it's been a very humbling experience, but at the same time, it's really built me as a human being, and it's really put me in a different place when it comes to conditioning and when it comes to my motivation and my strength in this fight.
Very good. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the fight on June 19th.
Amen.
The next question comes from the line of Stephen Mulhausen with SportingNews.com.
Thank you, Scott and Ken, for the time today. I actually have a first question is for Scott. Scott, how were the ticket sales for the show?
Yeah, hi. Sorry about that. Yeah, ticket sales are good. We're expecting a full house, and I think we're about way above our projections. So I think that people in the St. Louis area, come on down. It's going to be a great show from top to bottom, and I know that from what I hear from our ticketing and marketing department, that it's way above what they were expecting to be at this point.
And my final question for Ken. Ken, a lot of people are wondering at the age of 51, why even get back into the cage? You've done it all in mixed martial arts. What do you have to gain at this point of your career?
Well, I'm not really gaining anything. I'm not looking to gain anything. I'm looking to live my life to its fullest, and I really enjoy what I do. And I'm trying to put myself on the opposite side of the question. When people ask me, well, why are you doing it? And I keep getting the same question over and over again. I'm trying to put myself on the other side of that so I understand why it is that I keep getting asked the same question. And I think that the reason being is I think it's probably very difficult for someone to understand or to embrace the fact that I enjoy sparring, I enjoy preparing, I enjoy game planning and setting strategies and working with a group of people to accomplish a goal. And then in the end, when you accomplish that goal, there's no other better feeling in the world than to have a group of people who set out on a journey and they accomplished the goal that they set out on together with all the plans working the way you want them to, and standing there at the end and getting your hand raised, and everybody's in this zone. I mean, endorphins are flying. It's just a great feeling, and one that I think that I don't know how to compare it to, but it's a feeling that you don't want to ever lose, but eventually you know it's going to have to go away. I'm going to live this thing as long as I can live it, and I'm going to enjoy it as long as I'm allowed to enjoy it. And I hope and I wish that people would enjoy it with me.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Ken, and the best of luck next Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question comes from the line of Dave Deber with Post Media News.
Hi, thanks you guys for the time. This one is for both of you. I just want to get perspective from each of you on the process of how this fight came to be put together. You know, Ken, how were you approached by the promotion? And Scott, if you could just kind of go through your mind frame when you decided you want to put this one together.
Yeah, I'm going to let Scott ask that one because I think me and Scott kind of both had the same idea, and I think Scott basically put all the pieces together and made it happen.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Ken is right. This is a fight that, should have happened many years ago. I know that it's a fight that's been under everybody's skin for several years. But the genesis of it really was when we were in San Diego and we had invited Ken to come down and be part of our fan fest, being the legend. And, I haven't seen Ken in a long time and said hello. And I said, oh, man, this guy looks in good shape. And he said to me, I don't know if you remember this, Ken, but the first thing he said to me was, I want to fight that guy. Well, you said hello. And he said, I want to fight that guy. And I said, who do you want to fight? He said, I want to fight Royce Gracie. You think he'll fight me? And I said, oh, you still want to fight? And then that's how the conversation started. But we got busy. He was signing autographs, long lines. It was a crazy day. And then, we had already signed Kimbo. So that's when I approached Ken and said, hey, is it something that you'd be interested in? And he said, hell yeah, let's do it. And so, without hesitation, both sides jumped at the chance, to fight each other. And, now we're going to see the outcome on June 19th.
So, Ken, you're still poking around for that rematch with Royce?
Man, right now there is no tomorrow. Right now I'm focused on Kimbo, and that's it.
I guess just one follow-up. Scott touched on the fact that this one has been, I guess, years in the making, if you will. There's always been, so much chatter about what happened in the hours before the fight was first supposed to happen. Could you just clarify your take? There's always been the talk about pay disputes. Maybe the cut wasn't as accidental as it's been claimed to be. Could you just give your take on that day?
No, I'm not going to go into it. I've already gone over this a million times. Right now, my mind is focused on the Kimbo fight, and going into something like that frustrates me and makes me angry. It takes my mind away from what's important right now.
Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys, for the time.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from the line of Jay Reddick from Orlando Sentinel.
Hi, this question's for Ken. Ken, I know over the years during your MMA career, you've been known to sort of change your style as you've gotten older or your body's changed or whatever. Having been away for this long, what kind of fight or what kind of style can we expect when you step in?
Listen, I don't think it's a secret that Kimbo Slice brings the fight. And that's one thing that I usually about him and I expect about him, is that when he gets in the ring, he's going to bring it. And so I don't think there's a question about what kind of fight this is going to be. I'm the kind of fighter, when I get in the ring, I like to bring it. And so with two guys that like to bring it, there's going to be a strategy on my half and a strategy on his half, and we're going to see which guy's going to be able to implement their strategy best.
Okay, thank you very much.
There are no further questions at this time.
All right, we're going to go ahead and connect Kimbo Slice to the call. Ken, thank you very much for your time today. Have a great fight. If everybody else could please remain in the room. If everybody else could please remain in the room, we'll get going here with part 2 of the call shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kimbo Slice is joining the call at this time. Please press *1 on your keypad to ask him a question, and we'll get going.
The first question comes from the line of Dave Bieber with Post Media News.
Hi, thanks for the time, Kimbo. I asked Scott and Ken this same basic question, and I just want to get your take or your side of how this fight was presented to you.
Kimbo, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Sorry. I asked Ken, this same basic question, but I'm just curious how Scott brought this, this fight to you. How it came on your radar, and the process of it, coming together for you this time.
Well, I've always had in the back of my mind somewhere that I would have wanted to fight this guy again, and if the opportunity ever presented itself, hell yeah, I would have jumped aboard. But it actually came by way of my guy, Icy Mike. He called me one day, and we started talking about it. He was kind of picking my brain with it to see where I was at with it. So and then I guess from that he kind of knew that if anything, because I was somewhat done with MMA. I was boxing kind of now at the time. So I was like, if the way he was picking my brain was kind of funny, in a slick way. So when the opportunity, came and he felt like, okay, yeah, Kimbo would still do it, we went from there, and it was like one day at a time, hit and miss between Icy Mike and Mike Hogan. Those guys, they really, got in bed together, and put this shit together to make it happen.
You kind of just touched on it, but it took 5 years since MMA fight. Even a couple since boxing. Did you just assume, like, were you done? Did you see this happening again?
No, you gotta think about it, man. It's like a job, you know. It's like working. You know, I've been fighting, you know, professionally now for 10 years, and you know, it's not something you just say you're done with. You know, I was competing in MMA, then I started boxing. You know, whichever would have came, you know, I was even going to do a couple of small MMA fights, you know, just to stay active. It's work. It's a job. You know, and there's always opportunities. One door opens, another door opens, another door. So it's never like you're done. You're never done. You know, I would hope to be at these guys' age. You know, I take my hat off to Ken Shamrock being 51, even though I'm a still knock his fuck ass out. I take my hat off to Bernard Hopkins being in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? And these guys being as old as they are. And, I mean, that's not even old if you really look at it. Their bodies are still as strong as it is, you know, and they're just a little bit older, so they're a little bit wiser, so they train a little bit smarter. And I would love to be at that age, you know, and I'm just right around the corner from these guys and be able to perform and fight and beat them up for Paris as well at that age. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Last one for you. You know, again, been a little while since you're out of the spotlight, but you come back, and all of a sudden, that spotlight is, you know, it still shines. Do you, you know, what is it about you that just keeps attracting the viewers, you know, readers, fans? You know, even though you've been gone for so long, come back and still so much interest?
You know, I relate to my fans. My fans relate to me. You know, I could say it's the beard, you know. I could say it's the goatee. You know what I'm saying? I could say it's my, you know, just me being genuine with people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a piece of shit. I don't walk around with a chip on my shoulder like I'm Billy Badass. I came into the game wanting to fight these thought that they were bullies, you know what I'm saying? And that was the nature of the game in the street fights. I was fighting the guys who thought they was badasses in the streets, who thought they was badasses in the neighborhoods. And that's how we spawned this. That's how it started. You know, so a lot of people was able to relate to me for certain things, you know, and they would see me in these stores. They would see me in a Walmart. They would see me in the mall. They would see me in the flea market. And I'm not unreachable. You know, I'm not the guy. They can reach out and touch me. See these guys on TV, and they think they're the biggest shit in the world. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, and here I am, the same guy on the same channel on Spike TV, and they can reach out and touch me, fighting for the biggest fight network in the world, Bellator. And right now on primetime television, they can still reach out and touch me. They can have a conversation with me. And I don't think I'm better than the next guy. I'm doing what any white 100% man would do. Take care of his family. You know what I'm saying? Take care of myself. You know, fight with respect. You know, and that's what it's about. You know, it's not really about thinking, you know, I'm bigger than life. You know what I'm saying?
As a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. That is star 1. And our next question comes from Steven Morocco with USA Today.
Hey, Kimbo. How do you look back now on the way things played out back then with the first fight, Ken getting cut before the fight? How do you look at that incident all these years later?
You know, to be honest with you, dog, I can't even really comment on that. I just hope they fucking pat his hands up so he don't cut himself and they keep all the sharp objects away from him this time. Like, what is he going to do the next time? Going to shoot himself in the foot? You know, I don't know what Ken's going to do, man. I just hope he fights and take this fight. I mean, because, who cuts themselves? I mean, people cut, you do shit like that when you're scared, when you're afraid, you know. That's like as close as it comes to commit suicide, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just hope I hope he fights, you know what I'm saying? I hope he don't pussy out. Because if he does, I'm taking it to the dressing room, and we're just going to do an old-fashioned bare knuckle right there, right then and there, in St. Louis. Right.
The next question comes from the line of Stephen Mulhausen with SportingNews.com.
Thank you for the time today, Kimbo. And just, if Ken wasn't the opponent, would you have even came back to MMA?
Maybe I would have. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me think about this one. If Ken wasn't the opponent, would I have came back to MMA? Depending on it would be depending on who it would have been, where the venue would have been at, and it depends on a lot of things. Because, like I said, I was boxing, I was still competing. You know, if I had been done with boxing and I, moving around and shit, then yeah, I think I would have, but carefully evaluating the situation, I kind of would have. But the fact that Bellator, Scott, and Mike came, prevented us with this opportunity, this made me jump more than anything. And then being on Spike TV, oh yeah, I was all in.
The next question comes from the line of Dan Rhino with CBS Sports 920 AM.
Hey, Kimbo. Thanks for coming on the line. The question about your future plans. Is this just a one-shot deal with Bellator just simply for the Shamrock fight? Or do you have aspirations of maybe going after that heavyweight title?
No, this is not a one-time deal for me. We're in bed with Bellator, so then this is a multi-fight contract here, and I'm trying to do, not going to be the only one. We're not going to stop here. We're going to see how far we can go with it. I'm in this for the long haul.
Has the MMA training, has it kind of reinvigorated any love for MMA that you might have missed in the years that you were doing the pro boxing?
Well, I've always had love for MMA. I really did. Hell, I was, tempted to throw a few kicks and takedowns while I was boxing, so it was always in my heart. It was always there. But when, like I said, this opportunity came, so to get back at it, and now I have a love for training where I didn't have this love for MMA training, a few years ago. I didn't have that love for it then. I just had the passion to fight. So now I have the love for it, for the training, along with the passion to fight. So I am, a well-rounded, I'm a well-rounded martial artist now. I can hold my own in that cage. I'm no longer one dimension. It's going to take you got to be ready. You got to be ready to come fight. You can't fuck around with me because I could either knock you out, I could choke you out, and I'm that fool. If I get a hold of something, I'm gonna choke you the fuck out. I'm gonna really choke you out. If I got your armbar, I'm gonna try to pop your shoulder out of place. It's not like a competition. Every match is a fight, and that's just my mentality. It's just a fight. After we're done, yeah, we can go have a few Millers. We can go to Dave and Buster. Talk about it, laugh about it. But until then, I'm gonna knock you out, man.
Our next question comes from the line of Steve Jewin with MMAmania.com.
Thank you. And Kimbo, thank you for the time today. Fans, people all around the world have been wanting to see this fight since 2008. How do you deal with that much anticipation and that much pressure going into this fight on June 19th?
It's no stress. You know what I'm saying? I came into the game, with a lot going on, and it's just part of it. You just got to know how to block things out. And, for it to be that big, man, I just hope when the time comes, everyone put their TV on, their TiVo this game, man, and don't be.
Our next question comes from the line of Jason Floyd with the MMA Report.
Hey, Kimbo, appreciate your time.
And then to be back on Spike TV is an amazing feeling.
Hey, Kimbo, I just wanted to kind of follow up on something you said you have love and passion for training now. Is there any particular reason why you have love and passion for training now that you didn't have in your previous stint in MMA?
Well, I was a little bit younger. And I just attacked at everything like a bull. I just would come at it head on and head up and just be ready to throw hands, not worrying about if I get taken down or not worrying about what would happen after the takedown, just thinking in my mind that I just would have enough strength or I would get back up and knock them out, and just didn't take the training as serious and as, like I should. But over the years now, the training now it's part of my life now. I do it every day. I do it all the time, 2 hours, 2-3 hours a day, twice a day. And I just got the love for it. It's like I can see these things coming now. And I look for it. It's almost like I look for it. And with the same mentality, kind of now, a little bit smarter, a lot wiser, because I'm a little bit older. And with this mentality now, I can consider myself a well-rounded opponent, well-rounded fighter.
Besides Ken Shamrock, is there any other fights that interest you or would have brought you back to the sport?
Not really. I wouldn't have, just been quick to jump back to the sport just for any other fighter. I wouldn't have, I want to, Ken Shamrock, man, that would have just been my thing. I would have died. I would have saw him in the afterlife. And I'd have been like, hey, fucker, there you go. Bring your ass over here. I owe you one back on planet Earth. I would have had that mentality, in the afterlife. But this fight means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm ready to rock and roll.
The next question comes from Mark Raimondi with MMAfighting.com.
Hey, Kimbo, how you doing, man?
What's up?
I wanted to ask you, have you seen that picture that Ken put out on social media this week? He looks pretty ripped for a 51-year-old. Have you seen that picture?
No, I haven't seen it.
I apparently you guys were tested, and both of you guys passed the test, for drugs before the fight. Are you happy there was testing? Because he had failed before. Were you happy that there was testing, and you happy that he passed, or do you not even care about that kind of stuff?
Listen, real fighters don't give a damn about what another fighter has to do to get in shape or be prepared for the fight. Like, really, I don't. It's like come on, man. That's really not knocking you, but it's really minute to me. It's like, dude, do whatever. To anybody, do what you got to do. Be prepared, but just show up 100% ready to fucking rock and roll. We're fans. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of any athletic sport. And if you as an athlete, are prepared or training on a professional level, then no, you can't fucking just be, do the average shit, just to compete on this level. Fans want to see these guys. They want to see us perform and train, and we train hard and beat our bodies up. So, you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate you calling in to the Unfinished Business Media Conference call. Just wanted to remind everybody that the fight takes place June 19th at the Scottrade Center. You can watch it live and free on Spike, 9/8 Central. Thanks again for your time, and have a good day.